Hi everybody, excuse me. Welcome back to my channel. This is Celestial Estelle, and today I'm going to be doing a collective energy reading for the Aries new moon. A lot of you guys know this new moon is very, very important and very special because all new moons and full moons are very, very special, and it's a great opportunity for you to either release or set your intentions and manifest something greater into your life. But this Aries new moon is going to create and cultivate a brand new shift, and it's going to be a great time period for you to lay whatever it is that you need to, or give you that boost, that Ace of Wands energy to continue doing whatever it is that you've been doing. I was taking a nap and I picked up that you're going to be making a lot of people really upset, and you're going to be making a lot of people really nervous. What came through specifically was like you got them mad and you got them so nervous. And I just want to tap into the collective energy for the Aries new moon and see what's going on out there with everybody and seeing what the energy that's surrounding a lot of people. I do 72-hour readings for specific zodiac signs, but I wanted to tap in, and I haven't done a collective reading in a really long time. So I'm going to start off with pulling a surrender card and seeing what the collective has to surrender at this time for the Aries new moon and going onward into the full moon. I'm also going to be doing a pick a card reading for April predictions, so look forward to that coming out really, really soon. I'm going to pull a surrender card for the collective spirit. I want to go off and say that if you haven't, or if you don't have a gratitude journal, or you don't express gratitude daily, now is a really, really great time for you to start to implement that into your daily routine and daily practice. Just being grateful for the people around you, for what you have, for what God, Spirit, the universe has gifted you in this lifetime. And I want to say that when we express gratitude, we bless what we have today and we make way for the blessings for tomorrow. Okay? So pull a surrender card for the collective here. It says, surrender to the magic of who you are. That's going to set the theme for the reading today. And I'm picking up that a lot of people during this time period, and there's a huge saying that if you're unhappy with who you are, then change it. And I'm a firm believer of that. But I want to offer a new perspective, because sometimes we change who we are because of external forces are telling us that we aren't enough of this, or we aren't enough of that, or because somebody didn't accept us for who we are. So we internalized that, especially when we internalize messages that were sent to us when we were children. We internalize these messages and think that there's something inherently wrong with us. So every New Year's, or every full moon, or every new moon, we're trying to manifest something and change something about ourselves. And I think it's really, really important to accept your uniqueness and accept who you are and what makes you stand out amongst the rest. It says, we all have magic in us, even in mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. With this new moon energy, we're releasing all of the negative and the toxicity and the unwanted traits that we have within ourselves. But ask yourselves this: am I releasing this, or do I want to change this because I truly think that this is something that's wrong with me, or is it because I'm trying to have somebody else, or have somebody else accept me or fit into a certain space? This Aries new moon, collectively, we need to release shame, is what I'm really, really picking up on, right? The message of you're going to make people mad or you're going to make people upset is because people are going to be seeing you releasing the shackles of shame that have kept you hidden, that have kept you in doubt, that have kept you thinking that you were not good enough. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull a love activation card for us so we can continue on this reading. But that's really what I'm picking up on. A lot of times we are so focused. We are so focused on manifesting these material things, and that's so good, and that's incredible. We all deserve financial stability, financial health, but what about spiritual wealth? Okay, what about inner peace? These are things that are just not, if not more important. Okay? Love activation card for us. It's virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. Even though this Aries energy is really about the self, I'm picking up here that we have to start focusing and thinking of our role within the whole when it comes to our time here on Earth. Okay? We really have to start thinking about, give me 1 second here, you guys. Let me put this out. We really have to start thinking about our role within the whole here when it comes to our time here on Earth. Because a lot of times we run to these tarot readings for confirmation as entertainment, and we're really not doing the inner work that's truly needed. We are saying that we want to release these things, and then when the full moon comes, we're trying to manifest something, or vice versa. And the thing is, in order for us to truly make space for new things to come into our life, we truly have to sit with the pain and with the shame that is harboring inside of us, and work through it and release it for anything new to come in. And how do we do that? Right? We do that through sitting with ourselves, through meditating, through journaling, through speaking our truth. Right? And not in the goal of trying to be better than anybody else or position ourselves above anybody else, but we do that so we can slowly start to heal and reach out our hand to help the next person heal. So that message of you are going to make so many people mad and so many people nervous, because when they see you, they are going to realize that they too have work to do. Okay? They're really going to realize the amount of work that they have to do and the amount of time that they need to spend on themselves to heal from their childhood trauma, their childhood wounds, how life has packaged them up and beaten so many of us down. People are really going to realize what it takes to get to that next level of where they need to be when they see you. Okay? Let's continue to tap in and pull some cards for this collective, for the collective, this Aries new moon. What's surrounding the collective during this? I'm hearing that a lot of people are tired and fed up of the cycles that have been going on in their life. Even now, they're listening to the readings. They're listening to the affirmations. We got Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. Two of Cups. People are listening to the readings. They're doing the affirmations, and still there is still an emptiness inside so many different people, and people cannot figure it out. Why? They've been doing everything that they've been needing to do. But ask yourself, what is the why, right? What is the why? If you're doing these things to solely improve your own life and gain in the material world, then you're going to continue to suffer internally. Okay? You are. I'm picking up, so many of us are so much deeper than that and want so much more. So much more in our lives. Let's pull one more card here. We got 8 of Swords in reverse. So with the Ace of Swords, we are ushering in a new train of thought that's leaving a lot of people, so many people who are going to be watching this are being plagued with anguish and being plagued with despair and rumination, which is coming from unresolved trauma and shame, right? And we need to go out there with the 2 of Cups and converse and talk to people and meet people on a soul level, right? Not meet people to see what they can gain, but in the material sense, but meet people to see what they can learn, how they can share, okay? How they can relate. Because a lot of us still feel trapped. It's 2022. It's an Aries new moon. We're going to be going into the full moon. This time is going by. We're moving. We're moving through time. And yes, everything that has ever happened and existed, some people believe has already existed in the spiritual realm, and time actually doesn't exist. But we understand that as long as we live in the material plane, we are operating with time. We are working with time. And a lot of us feel as though we are running out of time. And since we believe we're running out of time, we become desperate. We become desperate for answers. We become desperate for solutions. We start to make our problems bigger than they actually are. And we lose sight of the vision, and we lose sight of the goal, which is connection with ourselves, which ultimately leads to a greater connection with others, right? And that's why so many of us, when we take that step and we fully and truly acknowledge on a soul spiritual level, and it can be different, and what it would look like is going to be different for everybody, that we want something more from these manifestations. Here we got Judgment. We got Judgment, right? Which is heed the call. We want more from these manifestations. We want more from these affirmations than money. We want more from these affirmations than a nice body. We want more from these affirmations than a divine counterpart, than our ideal lover. We want more from this, right? I think that so many people feel this way and are scared to accept it, and they're scared to embrace it because they don't know what that more is sometimes, right? Let's pull some more cards here. We got 2 of Pentacles, and I truly do believe this is balancing the spiritual realm and the material realm, and how we have to live in between these 2 worlds. And we float between these 2 worlds, and we never know who or what to serve. And I want to say, you can't be outside of these titles, outside of your job title of CEO, outside of business owner, outside of model, outside of dancer or musician, outside of a nail artist, a lash technician, outside of a spiritual healer, outside of all of these titles, who we are and what we truly, truly want and where we want to sit, right? We have to surrender to who we are on a soul and spiritual level. And with this Aries new moon, a lot of us are going to be shifted into a space where we're going to have to learn the magic of who we are. We're going to have to learn. We're really, really, really going to have to learn about who we are and what it is that we truly, truly want, and what our goals here on this earth are. We got Temperance. We're going to have to learn how to sit with ourselves, how to truly pour into ourselves, right? We're going to learn how to pour into ourselves, how to nurture our own selves and heal our own selves. Because if we continue to go outside of ourselves, some people say that all the answers are within ourselves. To a certain degree, yes, but we need people, right? We need people because there's so much that we can learn from others that does not exist within inside of ourselves. And that's the importance of relationships, of connecting with people. That's that duality of life. And we're going to have to learn how to truly, truly sit with ourselves and be with ourselves so we can be with other people, right? So we can coexist with others. It's essential. With this Aries new moon, these manifestations these things that we're manifesting, these rituals, they're all great, but what do they mean? Okay? And pull some more cards here. We got the Strength card. A lot of us, and I'm especially picking up Pisces, and it might be because I have a lot of Piscean energy in my chart. I'm picking up Pisces especially because Pisces are all of the signs, and it's the season that we just came out of. And I feel as though a lot of us spiritually, mentally, and emotionally have been broken down and don't really know what to do when it comes to our lives on a day-to-day level. We are so scared of the silence. We are so scared of the quiet times when there's no work, when there's no one to talk to, and it's just us. We get scared and we feel as though whether you're dealing with mental health issues, intrusive thoughts, whether you're dealing with low self-esteem, these unwanted negative thoughts start to creep in, and we feel as though that we don't have the strength or the courage. And some of us don't actually have the self-love that we like to show off and make others think that we do. And we get scared. And we think that we can manifest it without doing the work. And we think we can script it. And we think we can affirm it without doing the work, without truly feeling it on a soul, spiritual level. And with this Aries new moon, we are being called. We are really, truly being called upon to make some serious changes here with the way that we relate with each other. And more importantly, the way that we relate with ourselves. I'm going to pull 3 more cards here from the traditional deck. We got the Emperor. We got the Two of Wands. And we got the Queen of Pentacles. Some of us are paralyzed. And are stuck in a state of just indecision. And indecision has to be one of the worst states that we can be in. Like I said, we don't know whether to, we don't know which master to serve. We don't know where to sit, right? And we're stuck in this energy of being paralyzed, of being unsure, of listening to our lower level primal emotions and thoughts, and we can never get to the state of the Empire. or the emperor. I don't know why the word empire flew out of my mouth, but the emperor. We can never get to the state of the emperor where we are balanced and logical, and we're able to make decisions, and we're able to be in control of our own lives. We're able to be the architect of our own lives. We teeter in between these states of wanting to but being too scared and not feeling as though we have the strength, because so many of us, especially coming out of the pandemic, have been so low, have been so low, to the point where we aren't getting out of bed in the morning, where we can't face the day, where we can't look at our loved ones and tell the truth about how we're feeling. When we're smiling in people's faces, but the thoughts that we're having on the inside are completely opposite. That we're unable to speak to others about how we feel because we don't know how we feel. And that's not a state that that anybody wants to be in, but that's a state that we've been remaining in. Why? Because we don't know what exists on the other side, and we don't know how to take that step, and we think that if we take that step, we're going to be there alone, but we're not going to be alone when we take that step. That's the thing. We're not going to be alone when we take that step. When we think about Aries energy, Aries is the baby of the zodiac, and Aries wants to explore. They want to figure out. They want to be the first. They want to know. They're so bold and so brave. And with this Aries new moon, shed the skin and take that step, guys. Take that step. Take that step. Make other people so mad and so nervous that they join you, because they have no other choice, that they join you in walking towards the truth by heeding the call and answering to their higher selves, and they can help other people answer to their higher selves. I'm going to pull. Need to get a sip of my tea there. This is really the time, you guys. I'm picking up on some people who are watching this have heavy Scorpio energy, or have serious Pluto aspects, or experiencing a serious Pluto transit at this time. Pull some cards here. On the change the collective can be laying down during this Aries new moon. Transformation. Okay? Transformation. We've been taking the baby steps, but it's like we are taking such small steps when the door is right there. Some of us have our hand on the doorknob, and all we have to do is turn the knob and open the door and take that step through the door. But we're so paralyzed by indecision, by not knowing, by being so afraid of who is going to be there for us. And I want to say that spirit will be there for you. Not only people are going to be there for you, but spirit will be there for you. The universe, God, your ancestors, whatever it is that you work with, whoever it is that you pray to, they are going to be there for you. Okay? We got consciousness. We have to tune into the thoughts that we have on the day-to-day. And we have to be willing to listen to our inner guidance. To listen. A lot of people who are watching this, you need to meditate. You need to meditate. Do some Tai Chi. We got schizophrenia. This is speaking to the mental state that so many of us are living in. When we live with so many distractions, we have all of these different emails, text messages, the entertainment industry, all of the social media that separates us. And then we have our own personal mental and emotional problems that we're dealing with. We have our kids that we're dealing with. And it's enough to drive anybody into a state of madness. What are you doing for yourselves? We got past lives. This is the moon card. This is the moon energy, speaking to the illusions. A lot of us know that we have been living in illusions, but what have we done about it? What do we plan to do about it? How do we plan to shift out of this illusion? And if we're not in position to shift out of this illusion yet, how are we going to live under this mask, under this illusion? How? We got the Master, speaking to the Magician, celebration, and possibilities. With this Aries new moon, open yourself up to real change this time. So many people watch these tarot readings and think about, you know, this reader said a new beginning is going to happen for me, or this person said this is going to be happening for me, and it never happened. And I want to ask the question is, are you paying attention to your own life? Are you paying attention to your own life? Are you living with your day-to-day life? Are you there? Are you present in your life to see these new opportunities? A lot of times we think what so many readers and we have to ask ourselves how we're living with our own lives and how we're being present. I'm going to pull some karma cards here and look at some houses and signs and planets for the collective. We got Saturn. The maturity that brings, the caution. Already, this is speaking to the karma and the ways that we are placing our time and how we are using time, because that's what Saturn rules. Saturn traditionally is a woman, and she is like that old wise woman that no matter how far you run, you will never escape. And if you try to take a shortcut, she will drag you back and make you do the work that you thought you could escape. And she makes you do the work that you thought that you could escape. And I want to say to the collective right now, there's no escaping this. There's no escaping this. If you are somebody that is prone to escapism, because I'm picking up strong Piscean energy right now. If you're somebody that's prone to escapism, now is the time to put a plan into place where you can end, whether it's your social media addiction, your addiction to people, whatever addiction it is that you're experiencing, that you're having. And we pulled, that fell on the floor, but we got the 12th house, which speaks to addictions, right? And needing to feel as though, wanting to feel as though we're a part of something larger than where we are now. And some people choose relationships, some people choose drugs, some people choose working, whatever it is that makes you that feel like you need to escape. I need you to channel that back into yourself and find yourself. Because a lot of times what you're seeking is you, but we don't know how to go about getting back to ourselves, or we don't know what steps to take to even start that process. We have in the 5th house, and it's the power of love. We talk about self-love and we talk about self-care all the time, and I feel as though some people feel as though They have to do these things, or they do these things because it's the right thing to do, or they feel as though, well, I want to be X, Y, and Z. I want to be here. So in order for me, everything is very formulaic with people's healing and with people's self-love journey. It's very formulaic, and healing is not linear. Healing is not linear. Any type of progress or journey is not going to be linear, and there is no mathematical equation that can be put in place to help us get there. It's trial and error and reaching out to those who have been there by releasing that shame and opening up and sharing your story, because people are going to be inspired by what you've done. And that's why I said you're going to make people so mad and so nervous, and all of those people who are watching this video who might be the ones who just listen to this and, you know, go on their merry way, and they end up being mad, and they get upset, and they get nervous. Transmute that energy. Transmute that energy and make it work for yourself so you can help other people. This is the direction that we have to move in, guys. We got in the 6th house, which is work, speaking to the process. It becomes the 5th house, then become the 6th house, right? From the 5th house, we move into the 6th house of that day-to-day work. How are we being of service to ourselves so we can ultimately be in service to other people? How? We have to really look at how we're spending our time, the thoughts that we're thinking, the company that we are keeping, the ways that we are speaking to ourselves, the way that we are speaking to past situations that we lived through. If any of you guys are going to be scripting or manifesting, releasing on the Aries new moon, I want you to go back to a period or point in your life where you felt ashamed and rewrite it, right? And I want you to sit with that point in your life and acknowledge how you feel about that. It doesn't have to be the most embarrassing or the most shameful, the most painful experience, but have it be an experience. And acknowledge that and rewrite it into something positive. But it's what's the most important part is that you feel what happened. And you feel how you were harmed. You feel how you were wronged. Because that's the very first step that's going to help us work through this energy. Because if there's anything, if you've had any type of problems getting to the next level of your life, and when I mean next level, I mean cultivating inner peace, where you're happy, where you're content, it's because of the shame that is really, really burdening us and weighing on our soul and our spirit. I'm going to pull one more karma card here. Hearing forgiveness, we have in Virgo. Some of us really need to forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves for not knowing. Truly. Some of us are way, way too hard on ourselves. Way too hard. And it's not helping anybody. Especially people who are watching this video that are working towards something big. Some of us might be in college and university. Some of us might be starting a business. Whatever it may be. Some of us are way too hard on ourselves and don't realize how unresolved shame and unresolved trauma is tainting the experiences that we're having right now. Right now. Okay? Put a card here. It's a question card. It says, what is one truth I've recently come to terms with? If you're watching this before the Aries new moon or after the Aries new moon, I encourage you to write that question down and answer it. and be as honest and forthright as possible. Okay? Be as honest as possible. I'm going to pull an affirmation card and close this collective reading out with an oracle card for the collective, for this Aries new moon. What is an affirmation that the collective can take with them for the rest of the week, that they can sit with, that they can speak to themselves as a mantra, they can use as a mantra? Give me one affirmation here. Spirit, God, universe, give me one affirmation here. It says, I trust the process of life. There is a rhythm and flow to life, and I am part of it. Life supports me in things to me. Life supports me in things and brings to me the writing sometime. The life supports me and brings to me only good and positive experiences, and I trust the process of life to bring me my highest good. That's the truth. Life is always here to support you, even at its worst. But when we're disconnected from our reality and the realities of those around us, we don't realize it. We don't realize how much love and beauty life has to offer us. And we don't realize the changes that have already taken place. We're always asking for change, but we never realize the change that's already taken place because we don't trust ourselves because we're so disconnected, and we don't trust others, and therefore we don't trust life. We're in a perpetual state of fear. And what's it going to take for us to get out of that state? Okay, I'm going to pull one oracle card to close out this reading for my collective, for the Aries new moon, something that they can take with us or with them. Well, it is us. It is. This message is for me as well. Like I said before, I'm doing a pick a card reading for what's coming towards, what's going to be happening for April. And we're going to get a little bit more specific and nitty gritty. So if you're interested in that, look out for that. Okay? Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so when it posts, you'll be the first one notified. God, Spirit, Ancestors, give me an oracle card to close out this collective energy reading for the Aries new moon. We got Celestial Rose of Ma. It's number 10. 10 might be significant to somebody who's watching that, who's watching this video. The 10 is the end of a cycle before we move on to a new cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and read from the Oracle book, The Celestial Rose of Ma. Looking at the energy of the photo, of the image, I really believe wholeheartedly that this is speaking on the passion and the lack of life force that exists within our life, and the lack of love, our lack of spirituality. And we watch these videos, like I always say, but this is only one small portion of what it means to live a spiritual life. Okay? What matters is the day-to-day, the small moments. how we stay present, how we stay grounded, how we treat ourselves, and how we are treating other people, and the ways in which we are helping other people, and the ways in which we are helping and supporting ourselves. Let's get into this oracle card. Celestial Rose of Ma. It says, the Divine Mother offers me her rose. How rich that gift may be. I tear my flesh on its thorns, and my blood flows. I curse myself for carelessness, and yet in my desire to grasp this gift, it happens again and again. Then I realize, such is its scent, its beauty. How can I be tentative in my approach? My senses are drenched in beauty, and I long to inhale the exquisite perfume, to reach for the velvet dew of the petals, soft and delicate under my touch. It says a spiritual gift is on its way to you. The celestial rose of the Divine Mother is a precious offering of sacred love to the soul. That love can lift you beyond what you have known, beyond self-imposed limits, by the uplifting fragrance of grace. You will begin to think thoughts you have never dared to think before. You will feel moved by life, by its sacredness, in a way elusive to you. You will feel ecstasy without apparent cause, and you will feel as though every breath is a seductive caress of the heavenly lover. You will be open and surrounded. You will be open and surrendered in a way you have longed to be, but in a way you've never quite known how to go about. What have I been saying? Okay? Your ready for love heart can now be free from expectation and instead be open to life with curiosity and reverence. Oh, those thorns, they have served their purpose. This is talking about the ways that we have shielded ourselves off from ourselves and from other people, and how now is the time for us to open ourselves up truly. And it's not going to be big. It's going to be very small. It's going to be very subtle. It's going to be in that moment when you know you've made that promise to yourself that you're not going to do this. You've made a promise to somebody else to show up for yourself. It's going to happen in the smallest moments that you don't think matter, is when these changes are really going to take place. Okay? It says, oh, those thorns, they have served their purpose, not in and of themselves, but rather that they have proven you worthy of the rose and ready now to receive its beauty, healing, and grace. Whatever your thorns are or have been, be willing. Be willing to deal with them, to face them. These thorns can also speak to that shame, that trauma. Be willing to deal with them, to face them, and most importantly, to release them without any shred of doubt, shame, or guilt, beloved. They have served, and now their purpose has been completed. The celestial rose of Ma promises a gift worth so much more than any pain you are holding on to. Okay? So release to receive now. Can you sense the dew-soft petals and luscious fragrance opening to you now? You guys, I don't even know what to say, honestly. I'm shocked and I'm speechless. But I'm almost certain. Let me pull some of the cards here. I'm looking for a specific card, but you know what? It's okay. I don't even know what to say. I hope that this reading resonated for you and that you'll be able to come back and share even the smallest reward the smallest blessing, the smallest accomplishment, the smallest change that you have made in your life, because of the seeds that this reading has planted, or if not, has inspired you or encouraged you to learn something new about yourself, whatever it may be. I hope that you gained something from this. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for more notifications for when I release more videos. This is Celestial Estelle, and I hope you guys all have a beautiful and safe weekend. Peace.